although not everyone's favourite. Class 47s were very much part of the Thames Valley route for well, pretty much since the introduction of the class, really, in the early 1960s, and they stayed really right up until the Network Southeast days of '92, just before the turbos took over. Working between Oxford and Paddington and Newbury and Reading. This one particularly is actually a Toton 47, University of Nottingham, but that certainly would have visited Reading on many occasions, probably on interregional trains from the north down to Bournemouth and places like that, which would have resulted in the train running around at Reading before heading back west. But this is just a generic Mark 1 / Mark 2 dual brake set, which is derailing. It's a mixture of Bachmann coaches and replica coaches, and there's actually a Lima buffet in there as well. I'm eagerly awaiting the Mark 2Bs to come out next year from Accurascale, and then that'll pretty much be it then. I think we've got every coach catered for then, what with the air-conditioned Mark 2D coaches, Mark 1s, and then the various different sets of Mark 2s. That'll certainly be everything that you need to run a Western Region model railway with. So we've got a nice clash now coming up. So we'll follow the 47 from the first coach. There's a buffer missing off that 47 as it passes a 50 heading eastbound up the main. Well, to say I'm in Western Region heaven is an understatement, because this really is the most extraordinary layout that I've ever seen. Being able to run full-length trains on a representation of Reading as it was many years ago before the wires went up and the station was butchered, it's just phenomenal. So here's a 50 with the Newbury set on the down main, running down towards Twyford and Sonning Cutting, with Bachmann coaches, which I ought to avoid really because they are squeaking a little bit, so apologies for that. But the layout is based in Mid Cornwall, East Cornwall at the moment, but will be moving in the future, unfortunately, due to circumstances, and hopefully everyone will get a chance to view it at some point in the future. But it is truly phenomenal. If I look back towards the station of Reading on our right, it gives you an idea of the immense scale of this 4-track railway with colour lights, and as I say, it's just truly amazing. My trains don't normally my locos don't get a good run like this because I've got an end-to-end at home. So this is an absolute treat, and I hope you enjoy it. We haven't had too many derailments today, but we've whacked the 50 up to about a scale 100 mile an hour, and I'm having a job to keep up with it, to be honest with you. But we've got a variety of trains on the layout today, including diesel hydraulics, and predominantly stuff from the 1980s and early 90s really, which is of course when most people would have a soft spot for it. But this is now approaching Reading, and you can see the tracks open up as the relief and the mains split and the electric lines come in, down through platform 4 as it was in the old setup, down through the station. There's the London set running through platform 5 on the up, and then we come down to Reading West Junction and take the Berks and Hants down past the what was then the DNU depot, I guess, before it became a IMU depot and into the hidden sidings, which are vast. And that is pretty much one circuit. So there's Glorious, looking glorious, heading off on another lap.
Yeah, I'm amazed that didn't come up.